For the second year in a row, the Oklahoma Department of Education's annual Professional Development Conference was an entirely virtual event. Engage OK in the Cloud began on Monday and ended on Wednesday. Rory Taylor reports on the big topics up for discussion.
We have a unique, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to serve our students and families like we've never been able to before.
2020 was an unprecedented year in the world of education, prompting changes in almost all aspects of learning. Even as Oklahoma students return to brick-and-mortar buildings, it appears some of those changes are here to stay. To better understand what that means, the Department of Education's Student Advisory Panel kicked off this year's Engage OK event.
I think that schools got the effort right. I still got a lot of support from a lot of my teachers, administrators at school, helping me move into, my college experience that's starting in the fall. I'm writing recommendation letters, even though there's so much going on. So I don't think they ever gave up on us, and I appreciate that.
I think if one thing the pandemic did do is in sort of disabling, commonly treaded traditional routes for doing things, it opened up more options, which actually ended up benefiting people who maybe don't fit the orthodoxy for a normal route. And what I'm mainly referring to is when it comes to testing, whether it be new forms of AP testing, different ways to take the test, or even up into the ACT.
While online learning created flexibility for many high schoolers, for younger students, it created challenges depending on the quality of their home life.
There has been even furthering of that learning gap because you have the kids who go home and their parents help them. And then you have the kids who go home and they don't have anybody there to help them or support them. And they're falling behind while these other kids are getting leaps and bounds ahead. And I know that's got to be a struggle coming back to in-classroom, balancing, do I teach these kids up here? Do I teach these kids down there?
Getting kids caught up with their peers was the focus of many of the online sessions. I sat in on one such session led by one of the state curriculum and instruction directors, Christine Coroner.
The question now becomes, how do we leverage the strengths that students are coming into this year with in order to address those struggles and challenges?
One of the strategies adopted to achieve that is called accelerated learning. But don't let its name fool you. Instead of presenting new material at a faster rate, accelerated learning actually provides extra time to address unfinished learning by relating missed content to new lessons.
Because students are engaging in on-grade level content and only accessing previous grade levels materials as in terms of supporting their on-grade level instruction, students tend to be more self-confident and they actually have an increase in their engagement.
The strategy uses patterns of circling back on previous learning to reiterate information for kids who missed it while still teaching new material to engage kids who were better able to keep up.
Now we need to actually determine what students know and what they may not know. And we can do that by using formative assessments.
The system being implemented is broken into 3 tiers, which address whether a whole class needs the remedial efforts or maybe just a few kids. These accelerated learning programs were taught at this online conference as well as others as part of the 3-year effort to recover lost learning from the previous 2 school years.
Ready Together Oklahoma has just been launched. It features guidance documents, along with some webinar recordings describing strategies like acceleration of learning.
As part of Engage OK in the Cloud, State Superintendent Joy Hoffmeister, who also serves as the chair of the OETA board, explained new spending to pay for the programs available in the Ready Together effort.
Through the summer of 2023, we will invest at least $14 million in after-school and out-of-school programming. This spending is a requirement of the Federal American Rescue Plan, and rightly so. Most immediately, we invested nearly $6 million this summer to Oklahoma Alliance of the Boys and Girls Clubs and Oklahoma Alliance of YMCAs.
The Department of Education is also utilizing COVID relief funds to increase staffing.
There's an estimated $35 million, which will fund 300 additional school counselors and other mental health professionals all across Oklahoma. $13 million of that set-aside fund will also go for training in the science of reading for up to 10,000 kindergarten through 3rd grade elementary teachers over the course of 3 years. We will also invest in a math tutoring corps to help address middle and high school learning gaps caused by the pandemic. $3.8 million in relief funds, federal relief funds, will pay for 500 math tutors each year for 3 years.
Another $12 million in federal funds will go to hiring an additional 1,300 teachers to address the ongoing teacher shortage. Rory Taylor, The Oklahoma News Report.